welcome to our special coverage of the Birmingham Commonwealth Games. It was the 7th day of the competition and Sreeshankar Murali won India its 19th medal, a silver medal from long jump. It was a medal that was not won easily because of the changing weather conditions here in Birmingham. It became very cold towards the end. The gold medalist and the silver medalist were tied on 8.08 meters, but it was the second jump that decided it once and for all. After 44 years, India has a medal in long jump in the Commonwealth Games, and the winner is with us, Sreeshankar Murali. And it is the biggest medal, in fact, the silver medal. But winning this medal wasn't easy. The conditions were challenging. You leaped 8.8. The gold medalist also leaped 8.08. Tell us, what was the difference?
I'm happy to win first of all, I'm really happy to win a silver medal for my country. This silver medal really means a lot to me because I really had a lot of setbacks in the previous years with all the injuries, with all the COVID related issues, but I'm really happy to win the silver medal for the country. Today was really a challenging day. The conditions was not quite favorable for the athletes. We had like huge headwinds blowing, the climate, the temperature was cool because it's evening in Birmingham. And we have been coming after World Championships, after a lot of travel, a lot of journey, and it was quite a draining past 1 month for us. We have been in Chula Vista, then we went to Oregon, then we came to Birmingham, so quite a big travel. But I'm happy that finally I was able to win a medal for my country.
Just tell us what was the difference between you and the gold medalist? Both had the same score on the board.
Actually, when both the jumpers have same kind of distance on the board, the decisive factor is the second best jump, which of course he had like 7.94, which he had in the first attempt. And I'm a bit disappointed that I had a good jump in the fourth round, but it was fouled by slightest of the margin. I had a 0.3 millimeter, like 3 millimeter foul at World Championship, but this was like 1 millimeter. It was quite astonishing. I couldn't just believe it. I was asking the official, like, why did you call this a foul? No mercy at all. But it's sport. It's part of the
But it looked like it would have been 8.15 or something like that.
It was a big jump. I literally raised my hand. The team was really like excited, but when it was like a foul attempt, like everyone was disappointed. But I knew that I could do in the last jump. That's what my father said in the last jump when he came to me and said, "You are able to do this. You can do this because you have done this before at Interstate Championship, which was held in June in Chennai." So I knew that, okay, just one jump is required and I'll be able to do that. I'm really happy to win that.
You are saying that Neeraj Chopra inspired you a lot. Would you say that in the absence of Neeraj Chopra, a lot of pressure is on you guys to win medal?
There is no pressure as such, but Neeraj Bhaiya really inspired a lot of athletes like me because I shared room with Neeraj Bhaiya last year in Tokyo, and when I came back after my poor performance at Tokyo, I immediately, like when I opened the door, Neeraj Bhaiya is in front of me, so I didn't tell anything. भैया ऐसा बोला तो नीरज भैया बोला भाई कोई बात नहीं है, ये सब होता है हमारे गेम पे. He gave me a hug. Ishan sir, who is physio, he also gave me a hug. It's all part of the game, no worries. And that time I was really having a very low point of my career because representing your country in the biggest stage and not performing, it really hurts an athlete's morale a lot. But Neeraj Bhaiya and all the athletes, they really inspired me a lot. They motivated me a lot. And because of Neeraj Bhaiya and the gold he won last year at Tokyo, the standard of Indian athletics is coming up like anything. We have really good performances from the juniors, from the seniors also. So Indian athletics is on the rise, and we are really thankful to Neeraj Bhaiya for starting off a big revolution.
Personally, I would just like to ask you, you're a 22-year-old, you're trying to balance studies with sports, you're doing your MSc in statistics. How is that going, and how do you plan to carry on your studies with, top-level sports?
Actually, it's a bit embarrassing when people ask me about my study part right now because I have been doing MSc statistics and honestly, I haven't attended a single day of class so far. I've been trying to maintain track of what's happening in the class, but when it comes to like lot of travels, when it comes to competition, I'm not able to like cope up with both because when it comes to high level sport, you need to have that kind of focus and that kind of dedication that everything matters, starting with your diet, your rest, your recovery, how much you sleep, how deep you sleep. We have to look a lot of aspects into that. And when I was a student athlete, like I used to stay till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., just making up that particular day's work, doing math, doing science, everything. But when it comes to an elite level sport, you have to stop that particular thing for a while and focus on this thing, because this year we had Commonwealth Games, World Championships, and even Asian Games was planned. So I felt that I should give more importance to my studies, and my parents were really supportive. They told me that you finish bachelor's somehow, because after Tokyo I immediately finished my bachelor's. All papers I missed because of the training camps and because of Olympics. I just wrote all the exams in one stretch, and I finished my bachelor's. And I'm happy that I could get pretty good score in my bachelor's also. And now I've joined for statistics. I plan to balance both, but when it comes to higher level studies also, it requires another kind of focus. So right now I've stopped studies for a while to focus more on sport.
So target is a gold in Paris?
I would say yes. With God's grace, with all the hard work we are putting in, I'm sure that I'll be able to get a medal. I'm not saying gold, but I'll be definitely aiming for a gold, because winning a medal in athletics is not easy. It depends on that particular day, because even if you see what has happened today, 808, 808, 806, 805. So that close the competition is, and your luck can favor you any particular day. It won't someday. And it's all depends on that particular day, but I'd really like to work towards that big target, no matter what the result is.
Congratulations on this medal. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you so much.
So Sreeshankar Murali won India its second medal from track and field, the first coming from Tejaswin Shankar. It was a historic bronze that came in the discipline of high jump, and it was India's first medal in high jump in Commonwealth Games. It's a historic medal for India at the Commonwealth Games. We have Tejaswin Shankar with us, who has won a bronze medal for us in high jump. But it wasn't easy. The journey wasn't easy at all. When the opening ceremony was happening, you were sitting at home. What were you thinking? What was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, I mean, the journey is not easy. I mean, it hasn't been easy for me. And I feel like, I mean, if it would have been easy, then it probably wouldn't have been as much exciting as it is now. And the feeling wouldn't have been as like prevalent as it is now. So this medal means so much more to me, considering the fact that I was able to get here a few days ago and make the most of that opportunity and get a medal for the country. So I'm just extremely excited and happy to let this feeling sink in.
And you haven't taken off the medal since you won?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, like, this is my second major international medal. I mean, if you count the SAF Games medal as an international medal, yeah, but this is actually my first big international medal. I'm extremely happy to just be, I mean, to be honest with you, I just don't have words, so I don't want to say something and regret later, so I'll just leave that to when I have words about this.
Tejaswin, the way to Commonwealth Games has been through court. You had to fight a court battle to be here. Tell us a little bit about that period when you could not convince the Athletics Federation of your ability to get a medal.
It's definitely been a journey. So initially for not being able to get in the squad, and then finally being able to get in the squad and get an opportunity, there were so many twists and turns, and it's just like a fairy tale ending, so to say, to finally be able to go back home with a medal. And like I said, like when you're back home, it's about me and you and all that sort of thing. But once you're out of the country, it's about the country, and you want to bring back something for the country. If you go out there, you don't just want to go there to participate. So my only goal was, yes, previous Commonwealth Games, I had that opportunity to compete in front of a major crowd at Gold Coast, and I finished 6th there. So I knew that, okay, next Commonwealth Games, I need to improve my position and at the same time, like, be in contention for the medals. And I had that experience. I competed in the collegiate circuit for the last 5 years. So I had that experience. I had that competition practice that I needed. And finally, for everything to unfold the way it did, I'm just grateful that it happened the way it did.
I'll ask you about the collegiate circuit, but first thing, the big headline at home is that apparently you were practicing with 3 dogs at the stadium even after the team was here.
Well, so I really didn't know if I was going or not until, like, I think it was the Friday before last week. So for me, it was important to stay in shape, and staying in shape means, at any cost, and you want to do anything possible to stay in shape. So we'd usually go around to Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Delhi. We'd usually go around, 2:33 p.m. and that's when, you don't have anybody come in. And we usually didn't go in the evening because then it gets really crowded. So we wanted to go around noon, but at that time, the only spectators you have are stray dogs. So for me, I mean, so for me, from 3 stray dogs to 30,000 spectators in Birmingham, I think that's a big journey that I've
Tell
accomplished
us,
in the
tell us
last
about the
2
moment,
weeks.
picking up the medal in front of a packed crowd.
It was phenomenal. I think especially, after I made that 222 jump and then I saw that the Bahamian guy, he was not able to, complete his third attempt, and at that point I
couldn't
finished.
go to 225.
He couldn't go to 225, and at that point I knew that I'd secured the bronze medal. I had this feeling of, like I really didn't know how to feel because I had never been in this position, and I could see the Indian coaches and some of the other athletes, they were waving the Indian flag and all that sort of thing, but I just didn't know how to react at that moment because I'd never been in this situation. So I I wanted to go there, but at the same time, I wanted to just stay there and be like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do next? So I was caught in that feeling, but as it started sinking in, I just, embraced the feeling, and I was just so happy to be, in a position where I could contribute to the
Ashwin,
medal.
you are sounding very grounded, very sorted. Tejaswin, what I wanted to ask you is that, is there a feeling of vindication because of what you've gone through?
Not at all. So, like I said, I mean, like ultimately everybody's goal is to, like give the best for the country. And yes, there might be different methods, different ways. I used a different way to, approach and like try to lobby my selection into the team, or somebody might have another way of doing that. But I felt like I don't have any regrets. I know that what I did was right, and I know that that's the reason I'm in the team. And to be finally given the opportunity, like a lot of times we just point fingers and we are caught up in vindication and all that sort of thing, but ultimately everybody's goal is to win a medal, and that's what everybody came together and did at the end, and I'm grateful for that.
But would you not say that you're a product not of the system but despite the system?
I really don't know if that's helping the situation. As long as we have a medal, I think that's what matters. And yes, a lot of things can change, a lot of things need to change, but I feel like today is a day not to talk about those things, but today is a day to celebrate the medal for the country. And maybe next time we can talk about these issues and maybe we can raise those questions.
Okay, one final question. The road ahead for you now. As you mentioned that the American collegiate system has helped you a lot to get here, to get to where you are today. But the next step for you?
So now that I'm done with my collegiate career, now that I'm done with my education, it's important for me to get it. So the sports changed a little bit. I don't know if you're aware or not, but now it's not about how high you can jump, but it's more about where you can jump and against who you can jump. So it's more of a ranking system than just like pure height in the high jump or like how fast you can run. So now I need to compete in some meets in Europe and compete in other competitions where I can get more ranking points. So that'll be my goal, to compete in higher ranked meets so I can get entry into bigger meets like the World Championships and Olympic Games and make the most of that opportunity. So next steps for me would be to compete in not the collegiate meets but higher ranked meets, compete in better meets, and just perform well in those meets.
And how much does this victory help you to get those ranking points and get to major athletics?
So 100%. After the Olympic Games and the World Championships, the Commonwealth Games and all these continental games have a lot of significance, and they give you a lot of bonus points on top of your placing points. So yes, this third place finish in Birmingham is going to really help me with boosting my ranking in the high jump. So if I can get a couple more meets like this within the next year and a half, which will happen, I'll have the Asian Games in front of me, and we'll have the Asian Championships next year. So those competitions will really prove to, be of something that will help me with my ranking points, and I feel like I can use that as leverage to compete at the World Championship.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Enjoy the moment and jump higher.
Thank you so much.
There were few other historic medals won in this edition of the Commonwealth Games, like the one in lawn bowls. Also, Saurav Ghosal giving India its first squash medal in men's squash. Here's a chat with the bronze medalist. Another historic medal for India through squash coming in from Saurav Ghosal. Saurav, moment of truth for you, having played the sport for so long, a bronze medal here at the Commonwealth Games.
For sure, it's, I don't know how to explain it in words. It's probably the toughest match I have played mentally in my entire career, with the context of it all, obviously with it being a bronze medal playoff and, a possible historic first medal for India, playing James Willstrop, who is a legend of the sport, but also someone who I've learned from so much and trained with so much. Everything put together was just very hard, and I mean, I'm really, really proud of the performance that I put in yesterday, because it needed that sort of performance to beat someone of the quality of James, and I'm just really happy that I could pull it out. And yeah, better late than never. I've been working very hard for this medal. I came here, wanting to win gold. I did everything. Unfortunately, Paul Call, the eventual gold medalist, was very, very good in the semis, and I couldn't get through him. But I guess this is the next best possibility. So I hope this does a lot for Indian squash and takes it further along the road in terms of making it a big sport in India.
Would you say it was more a mental sport that you played than physically playing against Wilstra?
I think it's a bit sequential. I think mentally I had to be really, really up for it. It was very, very difficult. The time preceding the match, it was very, very hard to kind of put myself in the right frame of mind. I tried to basically shut everything out and focus on exactly what I need to do.
What kind of talks did you have with yourself leading into the
I was literally just, telling myself point by point what I needed to do in terms of, where I needed to put the ball, what responses I needed to do from what he was going to throw at me, playing out different situations in my mind. After that, of course, the physicality is important as well. I mean, James is, if not the most skillful player ever, he's up there with the very best. And I knew that, there were going to be rallies which were going to hurt, but I needed to use my physicality to get through them as much as possible. And thankfully, for the most part, I managed to do that, and I think that's why I won.
Saurav, biggest medal for you?
Yeah, I think it would probably be, shading the Asian Games team gold. I think that is a very, very special day for me as well, because it's the team that has kind of done it, and it means a lot for me. But I think this Commonwealth Games singles medal is a huge thing for me personally and for Indian sport. And I mean, Ritvik, for example, messaged me yesterday, telling me that 15 years back, no one would have even dreamt that someone from India would win a singles medal. And I just replied back to him saying, you started it. I'm really glad that I carried through with it, and we're here today. So
what next?
What next? Mixed doubles event next with Rica. Hopefully, that's what we work for, and that's what we aim for. But again, it's one day at a time. We want to focus on playing the way we want to play and execute the way we want to, and hopefully we will do that, play well and win.
Saurav, I'm really sorry we missed the moment because we were at judo, but I heard that you were very, very emotional after winning the medal.
Yeah, I guess it was. I mean, like I said, playing James on that stage. When the draw came out, I actually was hoping that we would meet each other in the final. That would be my dream final. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for the both of us. But to play him, to beat him on such an occasion, to play the way I played, and then of course, to win the the elusive medal for India, for myself, in an arena which is brilliant like this, in an environment like this. Yeah, it was overwhelming, and it was definitely one of the most special days of my life.
I wish you all the best for the future ahead, road ahead, and hope you and Deepika go for a gold.
Thank you, hopefully.
That's all we could pack into this segment. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to another side of Britain.
A side where we discover new flavours on every street corner.
Where we take good times to new heights.
And where ways to get around are limited only by our sense of adventure.
In 2022, come and join us for an unmissable year of celebration.
So get ready to explore different every day.